Alright, what's going on? YouTube. Alright, we'll do that again. What's going on, guys? So, I'm getting back into filming for my YouTube channel. It's something I've been talking about and kind of freaking failed at being consistent and actually doing it. And that's something that bothers me. I don't like saying that I'm going to do something and not following through. And I've been, with everything that I've been doing, all the changes and stuff that's been going on, it's something that I've wanted to dedicate time and put some effort into actually doing. So let's start this off the right way. I'm going to reintroduce myself. It's been a while since I've done anything on my YouTube channel, aside from like a couple posts here and there maybe. But my name's John Fabi. I'm a NPC bodybuilder. I guess I can still identify as that. I haven't competed since 2021. And I own Fabi Elite Fitness, my online coaching business. And I own The Bunker Fitness, my personal training studio in Wethersfield, Connecticut. I've been in the fitness industry for over 11 years. I've worked in corporate commercial gyms in all different levels, all the way down from personal training up to being a personal training director and regional personal training director. All that before opening up my own studio. And since opening up my own studio, going fully 100% being self-employed in 2015, my online was kind of like my main bread and butter. But I've been in business for a long time, at least it feels that way. And recently, this year has come and brought in a lot of different changes. There was some significant changes that happened probably when the last time that I started filming and doing videos on YouTube, at least kind of vlog style, which is what I want to get back into. Because everything's kind of changed this year and I want to get back into making more content, vlogging is going to be a way to make me a little bit more consistent, hold me accountable. And this is how it starts, right here. So going back to what those changes are this year that have happened, that have really kind of inspired me to get back into filming. I haven't been training as much. I haven't been posting even on my other social media as much. And that really comes down to the fact that I, for the most part, had closed down my studio. And that came with a lot of emotion, a lot of up and downs that went with that. It was something that, worked my ass off to build and got it to a pretty good level of success. I mean, 2021 was probably the best year that I had. 2022 was when I started getting ready to make these changes and really just kept the business going at a pretty consistent speed, but didn't focus on growth. And that was because I knew that I didn't have staff. I didn't plan on taking on any new staff because of the commitment that would make, at least in my mind, for me to be here more and be more dedicated to training new staff and being the boss and all that, and being a leader. And I think that's what being a boss really is, being a leader and showing people the path to success and how to improve their methods and teach them a way to kind of streamline the process, right? And I knew that if, after losing the staff that I had for the 2 years prior, it would be a whole new commitment to me, as well as the commitment that I already had to those clients. So I didn't bring on any new staff and, made the decision to move. My girlfriend and I, when we had gotten together, we kind of set it up as a goal, and the way that we were going to achieve that goal was very different than what ended up happening. At the time, the gym was doing really well. I had staff, I had trainers. We were growing, opening up a new location because I wanted to give these trainers that had been working for me an opportunity to grow and have, different positions, right, than just being a trainer. And, knowing that having a second location and me moving out of state, I wouldn't be going in and getting a job out of state or doing anything. I'd be relying on my gyms. So I knew that doubling what we were producing by having two locations would ideally be able to set me up in a better, scenario where I could be living in a new state without really having too much headache. As much of a decrease of headache as you could possibly have running a business. And when people, I had a staff of two. One of them left, zero notice, and really had taken a job back working at corporate gyms, and really just left me kind of high and dry. That was literally the week that I made the payment on the first payment on the new lease on the new property, and when I had probably like 2 weeks out from a competition that I'd been prepping for. So it had definitely taken a toll on me emotionally, and I kept my nose to the grindstone, kept going, hired new people, had some wins and losses, and then really just kind of lost the motivation to bring on new people and train them because people are kind of a disappointment, right? Employees in today's era, I think it's even harder to satisfy or keep them around because it's a demanding job, and most people that are getting into training really don't want to do the grind, and being in a private spot where you're not having the big marketing dollars as a big place, you do have to do a little bit more work. You have to make more sales calls and do all that. I'm not hiring a sales staff, but I do expect trainers to be able to understand that their book is their business, right? And I knew that from experience. It's not like I'm saying this and I never was a personal trainer that was, had to grind. I mean, I built my business multiple times from zero, right? I had first opened up my studio here in Weathersfield in a little 600 square foot office space, and built that up to the point that I outgrew it and needed to get a bigger location in West Hartford, and then COVID happened and I was able to get out of that lease and come back here and expand this space and end up taking over the basement level and building out what is around us. I think I've done a gym tour on this channel, so if you want to see it, if you like that, maybe I'll do an updated gym tour next time I'm back in town. But yeah, so I hadn't been able to really kind of get myself back into that inspired position to take on new trainers and really think of the gym as my end all be all goal. So time had come. Me and Lindsay's lease was up in South Windsor, and we decided, we made this commitment. Let's do it. And me, I ended up interviewing. Was going back. Was about to go back into a position working in corporate gyms with Crunch Fitness. I got offered a decent salary to be able to go there and work. And when we made the move, I ended up moving there first without Lindsay. She ended up going back to South Carolina for a little bit, staying with her mom until we kind of locked down a spot because the housing over there is very competitive right now. I remember I was going in and filling out paperwork and, hey, I'm going to go get the deposit right now and come back 30 minutes later, and they're like, oh, somebody came and took that unit. So it was super competitive, and while I was down there and I had started working, I was living in an Airbnb. I had all my stuff in a storage unit and really still felt like I had a lot of unfinished business up here just because it was an abrupt leave, So I needed to think, man. I needed to think, how can I make this work and what do I want to do? I ended up reaching out to a private gym down in Florida and asked them if they're looking for trainers, got a little thing set up with them as an independent contractor, made me feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, this is a spot I could come in, build. I don't have to start a whole new business over. I could, rely on foot traffic in there to be able to use their client list to be able to build my own client list, or their member list to build my client list. And then I still had the gym. I still had clients that I wanted to make sure that they were set up, and I ended up hiring a couple people that didn't end up working out. So the gym maintained a status of being closed for a little bit. Until recently, I brought on a couple people. One of them was a former trainer, one of the ones that had worked for me when I had been building this spot and was going to be opening up that second location. And the other one is somebody that I actually coach, right? So that set me up. It made me feel a little bit more comfortable. That was more recent. And in between that, what had happened was the gym that I'm at they're not feeding you business, right? If you're over there, you have to be hustling and doing your thing. And I'm just not in the spot right now to do that. I'm not trying to be a one-on-one personal trainer again. My online coaching is something that's very fulfilling to me, and something that I guess I neglected with having my studios, because that became the main focus, because there's rent, there's staff, there's all the stuff associated with it, and the online became kind of a side hustle. And I want to put more energy and effort into that. I also know that my father, who is going to be 70, 71 this year, he has been in business since, he's been in business for going on 50 years now. And I helped him out with a lot of stuff in the back end of building a new kind of facet of his business. His business was originally he was a barber that had bought a studio space, or a salon space rather, and got into wigs, got into hair replacement, mainly doing men's hair replacement. Growing up, I literally grew up in the salons. And 2015, when I kind of started growing my business and going full-time working for myself, when I rented out the space here from him, and he had this idea because he had lost some tenants. His business was kind of slow, and he owns the building, and losing the tenants was kind of tough because it's what kind of, he made a lot of his spending money off that. So when he had lost a second tenant, the whole reason why I even came in here and rented out my own space was because he had lost a tenant, and I had been looking for a spot to kind of do my own thing. So I told him, I was like, hey, I can help you and you can help me this way. I could pay you, what that guy was paying for the rent, so you're not losing that much. I'll figure out how to, get enough business in here to keep it afloat. I'm going to start off working probably every other day because I was renting out at a different gym. And I was doing really well over there, and I didn't need another space, but it was a dream. It was a goal of mine. It was something that I had imagined doing, was owning my own gym and really working for myself. And I tried it when I was 18, and this was something that I wanted to do. So I was like, all right, let's do this, dude. And by 2015, I'm in here full time. I wasn't doing the every other day anymore. I wasn't working 3 extra jobs on the side to kind of support myself. I was 100% self-sufficient on my business, and I was working on a website. I was building a website for myself because I had been ripped off in the past. And I think a lot of what this video today is going to be is talking about business in the fitness business specifically, and what my experiences were in that. And that's really just in general what I want to be doing with these vlogs. It's kind of sharing my experiences, sharing some knowledge that I might have acquired over the years. And if it helps anybody out or inspires anybody, I hope that even if it's one person, that makes all this worth it. I'm not vlogging for fame or money or anything like that. This is really just a way for me to document my experiences and hopefully help people along the way, because I feel like I'm really put on this earth to serve. That's why I'm in the industry that I'm in. And that's going to lead into another point, which I'm going to get to at the end of the video. I'm kind of circling around it on purpose. But where was I? So I had this dream. I wanted to work for myself, have my own gym, have my own business, even though I was doing well where I was. But my dad needed a tenant. I was looking for something. If anybody's going to pay my dad, I might as well do it. And I moved in here, and he saw me building my website and said, John, listen, I just lost another tenant. He retired and is, now I got another space that I need to fill. And I had this idea, and I was talking to your Nani, my grandmother, and I was talking to my sister, my aunt, and he's like, I want to open a wig gallery. He's like, I want to take that extra room that we have, and I want to build out a space with products on display, with the wigs on display. He's like, I've been to wig stores, I've seen them, they always have boxes like you're going to a Payless. He's like, I want to have something that is going to be more captivating and more interactive for people when they come in, and be a little bit more welcoming. And I want to specialize in this specific niche in my industry. And he serves people that are, undergoing chemotherapy and suffering from alopecia, and just women with significant hair loss or are going through something medically and are going to be losing their hair. And he's like, I want to make sure that these people are coming in, they're getting a great experience. So I think that's something I want to do, but I don't know, it's a risk, or, it might be better if I just get a tenant. I'm like, Pops, I think it's a great idea. Let's do it. I'll help you out. I'll build you a website. We'll start a whole new brand and company and do all that. And 2015 is when he first started the wig gallery. And almost instantly after we built him a website, we got some photos, built out the space, and the business started coming in, and he was doing really well. So when I had moved down to Florida, I moved into Clearwater. And my dad also has a second location at this point of his wig gallery in Tampa, downtown Tampa. So me and my girlfriend, we're living 15 minutes away from there. I'm down there. I didn't stick with the job at Crunch. I knew that I wasn't planning on having to start a whole new business down there. I wanted to keep time available to focus on growing my online coaching and deliver a much better product on there and get a bigger reach where I can help a lot more people than what I could with a one-on-one setting. Because the biggest limiting factor with being a one-on-one trainer, even a studio owner, is time. You know, you only have so many people that can serve so many clients within a day. So that obviously limits income, but it also limits how many people you can serve. And like I said, my purpose is to be able to serve people and help and share. And that was a limiting factor, a bottleneck that I knew getting back into having to hustle and do a one-on-one training job was going to be, right? But I also had the idea, I was like, Dad, I can help you out more with your business as well, because I still wanted to be involved in business while I'm growing mine. And, you know, we had been talking about it, and he was like, yeah, you know, whatever. It's like, dude, sales, I've been in sales and all that. I can help you out. We can get more. He's like, John, we don't need salesmen. We don't need more salespeople. He's like, we need more stylists. And he's like, from your experience with staff, employees, and hiring talent like that, what do you think would be the same factor with the wig gallery? They'd leave, they'd want to start their own thing. I've had multiple trainers that have come work for me that have started up their own business, which I love. You know, the only thing is that most of the time they're not telling you that they're doing it. One of my first apprentices that I had brought on and hired as a trainer was somebody that I had coached for his first bodybuilding show. And when I first took him on as a client, he even told me, you know, one day I want to own my own gym. You know, I want to work for myself and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him a lot of advice. And eventually when he became certified as a trainer, he had, you know, approached me asking for a position. So I brought him in, I interviewed him, not that I didn't know him. And when I hired him, and I did what I could to mentor him and, you know, feed him clients and, you know, even got him hooked up with another spot because I knew that he was going to have a lot of churn right off the rip, off the beginning, as he was getting experienced, and I wanted to make sure that he was getting more experience and making more money. So I did whatever I could to help him out. When I hired him, I told him, I was like, dude, I know that what you want to do is own a gym one day. And I think that that's fucking awesome. You know, it's the hardest thing I've ever did, but it's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. When it is time for you that you want to exit and you want to open up your own studio, just tell me. Let me know. There's going to be no hard feelings. And I'll help you in any way that I can making those moves. And that is the opposite of what he did. I didn't find out that he was trying to do this until I had told him, hey, I need to, you know, start giving you more clients and put you into a little bit bigger of a position over here because I just signed a lease for a space 3 times the size. We're going to be moving. We're going to be getting a bigger location closer to where you live. It's kind of in the middle for both of us, and we're going to crush it. And then that's when he tells me that he's been working to open up his own spot, and but I can still stay. And obviously, me knowing that, you know, the longevity of him staying there was zero. It was when I decided that it was time for us to kind of part ways, and he should focus on his thing. And again, no real hard feelings professionally, but personally, I wish that he was able to come to me honestly. And that's something that happens a lot, even in my father's industry with stylists. And he knows that myself or my sister and all that wouldn't do that. So when we had that conversation, and I'm over there, I'm kind of struggling not only financially, but struggling with, you know, what am I going to do? What is the next move for me here? I know that I want to grow this online coaching. I know that I want to be able to get some freedom back in my life and be comfortable again. As comfortable as, like, you know, one can be. You know, I don't think I've ever been in a position where I'm comfortable. I'm always striving to be uncomfortable and chase and pursue bigger things. So when we had that conversation, I said, dude, you're right. You know, right away I told him, I was like, yeah, I think that's the next move to make. The next day, we went and toured a cosmetology school down in Florida where I actually enrolled. I don't think it was the same day, but we had told them, yeah, we're gonna, you know, I think this is what we're gonna end up doing. We just had to figure out what process we was gonna go for, barbering or full cosmetology, or what would be the best option there. So we decided to go for cosmetology, because then if I wanted to do barbering, it would only be an extra 300 hours at the end of it. And time is the thing here, right? I wanted to get in and out of there as quickly as possible, and I also wanted to still have time to be able to make money while I'm in school, so I did part-time. And that's really leads us roughly up to where we're at now. I ended up getting staff back over here, and now after just coming back to Connecticut, I took a week off from school and decided that I needed to go up here, take care of this new staff, and kind of get a little bit of a break. It's I've been 4 months in school, pursuing a whole different career and learning a whole new skill and new trade at 31, about to be 32 years old. And that's something that I never thought I'd be saying, and especially talking to you guys on camera, that at 32 years old I thought I'd have everything figured out of what I'm going to do, and here I am still learning and growing. And I think that that's important, to be flexible like that and being able to bounce back and not be stuck to one idea. I thought that I'd be owning a gym forever and being full-time in there and training one-on-one when I opened up the studio. And then as I grew, that vision of it changed. And as the industry changed, my vision of what I wanted to do in the industry also changed. And the one thing, fitness-wise, that did stay consistent was the online coaching. I started that. That's really how I started my business and my brand. Bobby Elite Fitness was 100% an online coaching business in 2013 when I first got my business registered in the state and started, being a 1099, tax payer, whatever it is. So now I'm in a spot where I'm looking to grow, and I think that this is a great way for me to be able to reach more people and deliver a little bit more and share a little bit more about what I do and share the journey of the process of going through cosmetology school and all that. I don't think I'm going to be bringing the camera in with me every day and filming stuff at school. I might just do a little something on my phone if I'm there and chop it up into videos here. But I want to be sharing that. And a lot of this trip back home was to help inspire this and give me a little bit of clarity. And a couple times since I've been here, I've only got a few more days left, I had picked up the camera and talked to it a little bit, and really was just getting the hang of doing this again, because it's been a while. I haven't been producing content on my social medias or doing anything like that. I just kind of took a break from it because it was emotionally draining me, and that's at the end of the day an excuse, but it's how I felt. And now we're here, right? Sharing my story and kind of talking your ears off. So if you stayed this long, I appreciate it. If you got any value out of this, or if you want to hear more about the story or see what's going on or anything like that, please like, subscribe, share, all the stuff that kind of helps boost videos in the algorithm, because I want to be able to reach more people and help more people out. As I get back in the swing of doing this, I'm going to be producing much better videos, and maybe not just be a single talking head shot for 20 minutes, but that's really all I got for you guys today. Stay tuned. I'm going to be shooting another one, and we're going to be a daily vlogger now. So that's it, guys. Thank you.